Hey everybody, today we are walking around Lake Baldwin. This trail is approximately 2.6 miles. And we're starting our adventure from the dog park. Like parking here, it's free parking and there's usually a space available. Although there are a lot of people here today. Kind of surprised. Well, this should be a scenic trip. I've never walked around this lake. I have ridden my electric bike, I think. Yeah, I think so, and my electric kick scooter, but I've never walked it. So hopefully I can pull this off. I think I can. And I think this will take about, well, I should check the time. It is 12:14. I think it'll take 45-ish minutes, which means 45 to an hour, probably. Hey everyone. Well, today is a sad day. Last night we were watching Resort TV. They were at Fort Wilderness in Walt Disney World, and they were filming the Christmas decorations. And someone said something about AdamTheWoo, and they said, I don't know what it was that they had said. It was in the chat. And Josh, he's the Resort TV guy, said, well, we don't really know about Adam. We don't have confirmation. And I thought to myself, what happened to AdamTheWoo? And so I started searching. I couldn't find anything. And I thought, well, maybe he had a car accident or something. And we don't know how serious it is. And just to give you a little backstory, AdamTheWoo is one of my favorite vloggers. One of my three favorite. My favorite being Casey Neistat, who doesn't really vlog anymore. Maybe a couple times a year. But Adam, he vlogs pretty much every day. So we're continuing to watch Resort TV, and other people are chiming in. This happened, that happened, whatever. And
after that, it's a little too many.
So I'm starting to read the chats, and Josh is again saying we don't have any confirmation, but if that happened, it would be really sad. Now I'm thinking, uh-oh, what in the world happened to Adam? What is going on? And then just a little bit later, Josh says that, yeah, it's not looking good. People are texting me, and this is not good. Should I stop the live stream? Should we just cut it? And he decides, no, I'm going to continue on. We're still not 100% sure about the news. And so then just not very long after that, not very long after that, Josh says, yeah, I just got a text from a mutual friend, and it looks like it's confirmed. Adam has passed away. And I thought, are you kidding me? Passed away? How? What in the heck happened? So Adam was 51 years old. And he was on a trip recently. He spent a month in Europe. He went to Italy. He went to this kind of island nation called Malta. And then he went to Switzerland. And then he went to France. And then he came home. And the very next day, he had another vlog. And I'm not sure if we watched that one or not. I think that's the one that says jet lag. And maybe we watched it, I'm not sure.
It kind of has a couple of different.
And he made a couple more vlogs. And the last one we saw was on Sunday. I think it was on Sunday. And that was Saturday's vlog, which was him and his friend. And they were... Okay, this is the park. Excuse me, a little interruption. This is the Orlando Veterans Memorial Park. And there's a couple of statues, at least one. Yeah, there's one statue over there. I guess we'll walk over there and take a look at it. Anyway, gosh, where was I? Yeah, so he was with a friend who was dressed up as the Grinch. And they were walking around downtown Celebration, where Adam lived. And they were driving around in Adam's golf cart, and they were looking at Christmas decorations. And that was pretty much the video. It was fun. Fun video. Everything seemed fine. And then, strangely, he does a daily vlog. There was no vlog for Sunday, which he would have released on Monday. So there's some questions there, whether he filmed a video on Sunday and then passed away overnight or in the early hours of Monday. I don't know. I am curious about that, and I haven't seen anyone bring that up. Alright, so this is a Vietnam War history memorial. Vietnam Memorial. It's kind of hard to see. The sun is directly behind. Okay, there we go. Well, that's a great shot right there. Okay, it's again probably hard to see. It says Vietnam War Memorial. You will not be forgotten. And over here it says Vietnam War history. It gives a brief, very brief history of the Vietnam War. It says 58,000 were killed, 300,000 wounded, and 1,600 people missing in action. The Republic of Vietnam had over 250,000 soldiers killed, 700,000 wounded, and over 3 million innocent civilians dead. After the North Vietnamese communist takeover, the world witnessed the Vietnamese exodus of approximately 1.5 million people. Almost 500,000 of these people died at sea in search of freedom. So I'm in this neighborhood right now called Baldwin Park, And I guess it's a city of Baldwin Park. It sits about 10 minutes 10 minutes northeast of downtown Orlando. So we're 10 minutes drive from downtown Orlando. It's a beautiful community, a beautiful neighborhood, and it always reminded me of Celebration, Florida. Isn't that interesting? That's not why I'm here today, but I really wanted to go for a walk around the lake, and then I wanted to film the Fashion Square Mall. So this says Patriots of the American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. Heroes of Liberty, Daughters of the American Revolution, Orlando chapter, dedicated June 12th, 2010. Okay. The lake is right over there. See if I can zoom in. We'll get better views of it. But there it is. Lake Baldwin. So we're kind of wondering, is there a video out there that may or may not be released? I don't know. Someone would need to know, probably need to know the password for his laptop. And I certainly hope that Adam had a will or a trust or something.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You need to trust.
So he had a mom and a dad still living and a sister. Please pray for them. Their names are Jim, June, and his sister is Faith. Adam was close, I would say, from the outside looking in, he was close to his parents and close to his sister. I believe his sister lives in Utah. So I think we're making pretty good time. Very good time. We'll get to see the lake. That'll be towards the end of the walk. I really liked Adam. I loved his videos. Watched a lot of them over the years. He's been doing this since, I think they said 2009. Can you imagine? 2009. And he became successful. I'd say the success really started coming on probably 10 years ago. He made a video and posted it pretty much every day. It's a great place to walk, or run, or ride your bike. I have to wear this funny hat because I've had skin cancer and I have at least one thing on my face that I really should get looked at. I hate going in there though. First of all, men do not like going to the doctors. I'm going to speak for all men. And I definitely don't want to see a doctor. But additionally, and there's also the expense. I can easily afford it, but there is that. It just seems like such a ripoff. And, I think they see someone like me too, and they figure, well, he's good for it, and so, we're just going to take a couple, maybe $200, $300, $400 extra. really adds up to, first they do the exam. That's about $500, or it used to be. It's been a few months since I've been there. But so there's $500 or $600 easy. Then, if they have to freeze something, or if they have to cut something, you know. Well, that's another $300-$400. It used to be, if you didn't use your insurance for something like that, or if you didn't have insurance, that they give you a break. But they're not doing that so much anymore. And the reason for that is they have so many people who at least claim that they don't have any money. And, and sometimes that's true, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes they have the money, they have plenty of money. But, maybe they're acting or whatever. Like they don't have anything. Because they don't want to spend it on a doctor. They'd rather spend it on a car payment or whatever. And I get that, I really do. But the problem with that is it just puts the burden on everybody else, because that's what they do. They shift the burden onto everybody else. So AdamTheWoo passing, it's just unbelievable. So my understanding is that a friend of his had plans to do something on Monday, and Adam he wasn't there. He didn't meet his friend, which was probably, knowing Adam, as well as I know Adam. I only met him once, but that was real quick. But just watching his videos and see how he deals with people, I'm guessing that he wasn't the kind of person that would just blow somebody off. So this friend was very concerned, went to his house, knew where he lives. So he was a real friend. And, I imagine he's knocking on the door, he's ringing the doorbell. And, of course he's been calling him and texting him, and they probably have an understanding of how to reach each other. Text me, call me, whatever. And he just never answered. So I guess the way it went down is he called the police or the sheriff's department, whatever it is, and they came, and they knocked on the door, they rang the doorbell, they talked to the friend, and no answer. Now it's a 3-story townhome, without giving too much information away. That's where Adam lived. He lived in a 3-story townhome in Celebration, Florida, and the bedroom was on the 3rd floor. And there was no way, just to look in the window and check and see if everything, if he was in there. So you need a ladder. And again, I wasn't there. I don't know exactly how this went down, but the friend, who people think is German in Venice, they think that he borrowed a ladder, and this all sounds strange to me, that who'd he borrow the ladder from? Did he borrow it from a neighbor? German in Venice lives in California. He lives in, I believe he still lives in Venice Beach, California. So he's not a Celebration, Central Florida guy. right? So where is he borrowing this ladder from? But supposedly he borrows this ladder, a 3-story ladder, which is no small ladder. It's a big ladder. And he, extends it all the way to the 3rd floor where the bedroom is. Again, all of this seems like, is this something I would do? I don't think so. But apparently he did this. It was him or it was another friend. Don't know for sure. We don't have all the facts yet. But so he extends the ladder all the way to the bedroom window. He looks through the bedroom window. Maybe what it was he could see from the ground floor that the bedroom window blinds were open. So he thought, well, let's just check. I mean, who knows? Maybe Adam wasn't feeling well. And maybe he had mentioned he was going to go lay down for a while, whatever, but he would be someplace to meet German. That makes more sense to me. That he would be in communication with his friend and he would have said something to the effect of, hey, you know what? I'm just not feeling real well right now. I really want to get together, but I'm just going to lay down for an hour or two. Can we get together just a little later? And the friend said, hey, yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Go for it. And then Adam doesn't show up. He doesn't answer his phone. He doesn't answer his texts. And the friend is he's very worried. And that's why he borrows the ladder. He probably tells the neighbor, hey, listen, I have this friend. We're going to get together. He was just on this long trip. He said he wasn't feeling well. He tells them the story. And they say, oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, well, I have this ladder in my garage. And, I'll walk it over with you, and you can go up the ladder and you can, look into his bedroom. Because that's kind of a weird thing, right? That someone would say, hey, how did they know? Unless they knew that Adam lived there alone and there were no females in the house, right? So that's what he did. And he climbed the ladder and he looked through the window. And he could see Adam laying on the bed, and Adam wasn't breathing or wasn't moving. He determined that Adam was perfectly still and that, he wasn't breathing. Maybe he looked pale. So he called the sheriff and he said, hey, you were out here earlier. I've now looked into the house and I can see Adam and he's not moving. Doesn't look like he's breathing. He doesn't answer the door, but he's definitely here. He wants to answer the phone. He hasn't texted me. He said earlier that he wasn't feeling well. And I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out. I'm really worried for Adam. Can you please come back down here? So they did. And they entered the property. So I'm going to show you this. It says, do not disturb gopher tortoise habitat. And over here there are some birds flying around. I'll get some video of that when I can. So he says, I'm freaking out. Adam's he's not moving. I was tapping on the window. Well, I don't know if this is how it went down, but I'm just imagining. Tapping on the window, he's not moving, he's not flinching. It doesn't appear that he's breathing. He's not moving at all. He looks dead. And I'm really, really concerned. So they come out, They enter the building. They go upstairs. They check for a pulse. They check his breathing. And they pronounce him dead. And that was around, well, it was after 2, before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yesterday, December 22nd. I think he was 51 years old. So, you know, it's just really sad news. And it says the park opens from 6 a.m., closes at 11 p.m. So here comes the radio. Same guy. Okay. All right, so I'm really gonna miss him. You know, really gonna miss him. Lots of people are gonna miss him. He had over 700,000 subscribers, and you know, his family, a lot of people loved him. It's just a real bummer. And it's really hard to believe. So why am I here today? Why am I walking around Lake Baldwin? Well, one of the reasons is Adam was overweight. And I am too. You can see these guys running around the lake and they're real thin. They're in good shape. I'm in terrible shape. I wouldn't say terrible shape, but it's not great. I am 10 years older than Adam. In fact, our birthdays are real close together. It's interesting, all the similarities. I met Adam. This is really interesting. Unbelievable, actually. So I met Adam at Magic Kingdom. And Adam was on Tom Sawyer Island. Tom Sawyer Island. I believe this was in June. Yeah, June. And I was filming Tom Sawyer's Island. And so was he. He didn't have his camera out. He wasn't filming when I ran into him. But this is how it went down. So I was at the top of the island with my wife. And we were exploring the island. I thought one last time. I actually had a chance. I think we went back. She and I went back another time. And then after that, and then I went back on my own. And the last day that the island was open was July 6th. And that's why I posted so many videos from July 6th. I got to ride the train, the Liberty Bell for the last time. And I got to walk around the island, walk through the caves, which was one of my favorite things about the island. And then, of course, Fort Langhorne, which was the fort that was on the island. And so I put all those videos up. Pretty much. I have a few more. I think 2 more to do. But I really wanted to finish those before the end of the year, but I don't think it's going to happen. Anywho, so we were there. We were at the top of the island. There's this, it's like a lookout. I'm not going to say it's a tree house. It wasn't in a tree. So it's a lookout. And my wife says to me, "Look, there's AdamTheWoo." And I said to her, No way. You can watch the video and see my reactions. I always wanted to meet AdamTheWoo. I don't know why. You know, in my life I've met celebrities. And, you know, it's always fun. It's always cool. You don't expect it to happen. And then it does. At least for me. You know, some people seek those people out. I don't. I'm not, you know, I appreciate people's talents, but, you know, at the same time, I don't want to interrupt their lives. I mean, there's no real reason for me to do that. I appreciate them, appreciate what they do, but like, you know, we were at Dodger Stadium one time and we were doing some work for the Dodgers, and I got to meet Tommy Lasorda, which was really cool. He was the manager of the Dodgers for a long time. And, you know, it's always fun. I met Kevin Costner once. We were on Venice Boulevard, Venice again, and we walked into a restaurant, and there he was, talking to his agent. They're always talking to their agents, or talking to somebody about a film or some kind of project that they're working on. But I worked in Hollywood for a while, and during that time, I just got to, you know, you get to, happens to everybody. It's nothing special about me, that's for sure. But there he was. So there's Adam TheWoo. And he was walking up the stairs, and then I recognized his friends who we had walked past. I didn't even, I thought, oh, this guy kind of looks familiar when we walked into the area. And my wife said, that's one of Adam's friends. And I said, really? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, maybe. Hey, check this out. It looks like there's a Christmas tree right over there. I wonder if that's a real Christmas tree or if someone just put that there. Let's see if I can, zoom in on it. Yeah, check that out. That looks like a Christmas tree. It's real pretty here. It's kind of breezy, which is why I'm using this extra mic. So, yeah, there he is right there. So I walked down off of that platform and recognized Adam. I was like, yes, that's him. I can't believe it. So I just walked, you know, I did a beeline. I just walked right towards him, which I think kind of startled him a little bit. And I realized, oh yeah, I better just calm down, you know, slow it down, back off. And I walked right up to him, and I said, I've always wanted to meet you.
It's like the one and only time.
Or at least I tried to say that. A lot of times when I get excited or I'm a little nervous, I flub my words. I do it all the time. Once I get talking, I'm usually okay, but I wasn't really talking at all that day. So here I get the mouth moving, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. You know, fortunately, my wife stepped up. I think she shook his hand also, and she started talking about Disneyland, and, you know, because we grew up in California, and, you know, we go to Disneyland all the time. So she started talking about when they were building Disney's California Adventure, and we were there, and we watched the whole thing happen. And Adam just kind of nodded his head and had that smile. And I said, I don't want to interrupt your day. That wasn't my intention. So we'll just continue on with what we were doing and have a great day, something like that. And he said, okay, thanks, appreciate it, and enjoy your day. It was very nice. He was very, very, very nice. So that's how I met AdamTheWoo. Now I got all that on video, and unfortunately you have to watch the whole video to see that. But he's in the thumbnail image. It's like Tom Sawyer's Island, and I think I put the date on everything. So I believe it was in June of 2025. So yeah. Well, that's pretty much all of it right there. I don't have much more to say on the matter. We're gonna see more information as time goes on. Hasn't even been 24 hours yet. And in fact, it is currently 12:48.
My mom and I aren't from there.
Okay, I think, believe it or not, we are making great progress. And very soon, we're going to be able to see the lake. So, I would say, yeah, 3/4 of the area surrounding the lake, you can't really see the lake. And then there's what I would call the front of the lake is, I think, pretty well. No, actually, it's maybe half of that area, or 3/4 of the front of the lake exposes the lake. I think that's it, and that's where the main street is for the town of Baldwin Park. So that's a little bit different than Celebration. The lakes are pretty well exposed. Of course, the main lake downtown is completely exposed. You can walk all the way around it, and you can see everything. So. So I've got this bottle of water here. It's in my pocket, and it makes this noise here as I walk around. It'll be interesting to see if you can hear that on the video. Oh, okay, here we've got a view of the lake, and we walked around. I believe we walked past those buildings over there. Yep. So that's how far we've walked so far. Pretty good. Pretty good. So I have 2 of these cameras. These are the DJI Pocket 3s. And I bought one. It was so good, I thought, well, let's just get a backup camera, because the US government may ban anything and everything that DJI imports into the country. It's a Chinese company. Like everything is Chinese. Everything we use, everything has got something from China inside it. Pretty much. I mean, like, there's a 99% chance. This is not a secret. Everybody knows this, and it's not necessarily a problem. It's just, when it comes to this DJI company, apparently we know them because they make drones. And apparently, well, or at least the fear is, maybe they have evidence, I don't know, that these drones have been used to spy with, and these cameras, and etc. So what this company has done is they've relabeled, very smartly I think, they've relabeled their products to Extra, XTRA. I believe that's correct. Extra. And they're trying to, so they're going to sell those, and so the DJI company will sell their stuff in all the other countries under that name, but here they're going to sell the very same products as Extra. It's a hassle for them, it's an expense for them, but if it works, then well, I guess good for them. Yeah, I can really hear that water sloshing around. So I'm just gonna carry the bottle in my hand. So I hope I didn't say anything out of turn. And I certainly don't want to hurt anybody. And my information some of it may be inaccurate. And if so, I apologize. I am speculating about how he was found. And I also have, there's more things that I'm speculating about how or what happened. I've got some interesting thoughts on that, but I don't really want to share those. Not now, anyway. Let's wait and see. Let's wait a couple of weeks and see if they actually do come up with something. So we'll see. Hello. The newspapers, well, I say newspaper, the online newspaper, People Magazine, Newsweek, whatever, they were saying that they're going to perform an autopsy, which I don't believe they always do, but I think it would be good to know what the heck happened. He's 51. As far as we know, he fell asleep and he passed away, but there had to be an underlying reason. Again, I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to leave that for another day, if I even need to speculate. That only happens if, quite a bit of time passes by and more than likely someone else is going to say something. And then it'll be out there. And then people will be spreading that information. And maybe it'll be true, maybe it won't be. Honestly, could be anything. Any kind of... Okay, look at this over here. Anything could have happened. Let's leave it at that. Alright, so here's a mayor who put her name on this. Mayor, or maybe someone put it in this person's name. Can't really say. Mayor Glenda Hood Park. We've already read this. Park opens at 6, closes at 11. No vehicles allowed in the park. Define vehicle. I think that's a gas engine, something or another. Certainly a car. No swimming. No, you don't want to swim in the water here. I'm sure there's alligators. It says no skateboards or rollerblades allowed in the park. That's interesting. That's interesting. I see those all the time. Okay, there's this beautiful park here. This pier right here. Looks real nice. So the timestamp says 44 minutes and 39 seconds so far. There's another pier over there. I think I flew my drone over my DJI drone, in fact. I flew my drone over this lake. I think I did. Would have been a long time ago. I don't remember exactly. So, and there is the main street over there. There you go. You can see the flag. That's awesome. There's the other pier. And normally I would walk down to the end of that pier, but this girl is standing there all alone, so I'm not going to do that today. There used to be a Five Guys Burgers on the street. We ate there once, and it was pretty good. It's just, you know, when they serve burgers, they usually serve fries with that. And you could tell that the fries were cooked in very, very old and well-used cooking oil. They tasted terrible. We're gonna walk up here real quick and see the tree. Oh, that feels good walking up the steps. Okay, there's the Christmas tree. So, yeah, this reminds me of Celebration, Florida. There we go. There's the flag. And there's the lake. Get a great view from up here. Oh man, look at this. Awesome. Here's another look down town, down the main street. Kind of get a look down the end of the street there. Just past the Christmas tree. Alright. Okay, so we're almost done with our walk. Maybe another, I don't know, 15 minutes. Yeah, it was a pretty long walk, huh? I wasn't sure. I thought maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So it was more on the closer to an hour. Okay, I can see exactly where we're headed. We are headed. There is actually a boat in the water, and there's a pier just short of that. That's where we're going. Oh, in fact, yeah, that's the dog park right there. I'll zoom in. Can you see that? Can you see that? See the boat in the water? And there's a little beach. That's the dog park right there. That's where we're going. You know, I brought this water and I haven't had any. I always do that. I shouldn't have brought it with me. I could make it around the lake without taking a swig of water. I should have a drink though, so I'm gonna. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Oh, here's another sign. Lake Baldwin Park. Alright, so what comes after this? I'm going to attempt, I already said this, didn't I? The Orlando Fashion Square Mall. I'm going to attempt to film it. Now I have been asked, I believe that was the mall, where I was asked to not film, or asked to leave, or asked to stop filming, or something to that effect. That's the kid in the back that's ringing her bell, or his bell. well, this video will be really easy to edit. It will take a while to upload. This is a problem that I'm having right now, is uploading videos. So I figured out how to encode these videos to the bare minimum where they will look good, right? So it's 20,000 kilobytes per second gives me a decent looking park video. See, what happens is, I might be able to get away with 15,000 kilobytes per second. I might. In fact, I think I can. I may have to for this one, because the file size is so big. It's going to be gigabytes and gigabytes, right? And I have AT&T fiber internet. It should only take a couple of minutes to upload, but for whatever reason, even though I do the the speed test. I do the speed test. It says everything is great. Now for fiber, I have a slow fiber connection. I think it's about 350 down, but more importantly, it's 350 up. And really, I should be able to do a 10 or 20 gig file upload in just a few minutes. Okay, so the problem really shouldn't be on my end, as far as I know, unless AT&T is doing something fishy, which I would not put past them whatsoever. I've run into problems with them in the past, and I really, really did not want to do business with them again. However, a guy knocks on my door and he says, "We're putting fiber internet in your neighborhood. Are you interested?" Yeah. I said, "Oh my gosh, are you with AT&T?" "Yes, AT&T is putting fiber." Oh, well, that sucks that it's AT&T. Could have been anybody else, as far as I'm concerned. I had Spectrum internet, and they were great. They were absolutely great, but I had, remember how I said 350 down, 350 up? With Spectrum, I think I had, I don't know what the down speed was. Maybe it was 100, maybe it's 300. I don't know, but the up speed was 25, 26 max. Realistic was 19, 20. And at that speed, it's going to take, to get a video like this up, it's going to probably take a good part of a day. And what if there's a problem on the other end? Like, remember when that guy was riding on his bike past me and he had his radio playing? Well, YouTube could pick up that song and they could say, "Hey, you got copyrighted material in here." Now remember, I need to get paid somehow, because this is my time and my effort, and anybody who puts anything worthwhile into anything should be compensated. So here I am. It's taken me forever to get this file uploaded. We're walking around a lake, but because this guy is playing his music so loud that everyone in the world can hear it now. Most people, they have their headphones on, right? Again, here we go with the 99%. But there's that 1%, and they want everybody in the world to hear the music that they're playing because they think it's so great, and everybody is going to want to hear it. But that is just not true. It is not true, my friend. So, that's another sign. We didn't see any birds, really. I was looking forward to saying, because AdamTheWoo, he would always say, "Hitchcock would be proud." I wanted to say that, but didn't have that opportunity today. And I don't want to copy the guy anyway. He had all his little sayings, and one of them was that. One thing I really did like that he did is he would say, as of this recording today is Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. So he would introduce himself by, what did he say in the beginning? He would say, what do you say, howdy, or hello everybody, or welcome, and they would say, as of this recording. Actually, he would do that. Did that a long time ago, but then he started just filming, and then he would say, hello or welcome, as of this recording. Today is Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. Of course, he's not saying exactly that because he's not around anymore, but that's something I think I will integrate into my videos moving forward. I feel like I can do that. But as for the other things, like at the end saying the vlog is over, I still haven't come up with something good for the end of my videos. Always try to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. It helps me out a lot. Sometimes I'll throw in there, if you comment below, like and subscribe and all that stuff. And then you get people in the comments, I can't stand it. They're always telling me to like and subscribe. And, they've got sponsors and this, that, and the other. And really, I agree with them. We do watch a lot of YouTube. We don't watch really any mainstream TV anymore. A little bit of local news. And then I've always watched the national news at 6:30. I've just always done that since I was a kid. And, it is true. There is fake news. But I think I'm able to, figure that out for myself. Yeah, we're really, really close to the end now. So, gonna miss AdamTheWoo, the Daily Woo. I will put some links down below in the comments. I'll pin them to the top of the comments, the actual YouTubers that are my favorite. There's some sailing channels that I like. Gone with the Winds is a good one. MJ Sailing is another good one. And hey, I'm going to go ahead and say this. If there's something you want to share, obviously, do that in the comments. But if you have thoughts about Adam, I'm really curious what they are. Please share. And if you want to share your favorite channels, you can do that. I don't think you're allowed to use links. I think the channel owner can do that, but I don't think as a user that you're able to do that. But you can just put the name down, whatever it is. And that would be cool. I'd appreciate it. I love it when people share. I try to share. I try to stay positive. I try to not deceive anybody, mistakenly deceive somebody. I would never do it deliberately. But I try not to spread misinformation. Let me put it that way. Okay, we're parked right over here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. The lake is right down there. There's a beach, and you can, see, there's a pier, and there's a beach, and you can run your dogs around on the beach, which is really fun. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And comment below. Let me know. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.